Hi everyone, it's Adedayo again, and this is Impressions Media. I'm gonna refrain from doing any introductions because apparently the noise about this whole issue with Obodo Oyinbo TV and the YouTubers, it's subsiding, and I want us to be able to take out the lessons from all of the issues that were raised during the process. I want us to be able to reflect and see where we can actually do better, even as YouTubers, and maybe even Aunty can take one of two things out of this. I have done a lot of reflections myself, and I know that no one is actually above any sort of mistakes. And in order for us to just like make this video more put it more into perspective, I put a note down, and if you see me looking down, it's just to ensure that I am following the sequence of my thoughts. And having said that, let's go straight. So the first thing I'm going to say is what goes around comes around. I know that we've heard that a lot. The context in which I am saying this is the fact that sometimes we say things and we do things without thinking of the future repercussion of what we do or what we say. And the truth is that at some point, some things that we say or some things that we do would naturally come back to us. And my next point is going to be never say never. Because if you say never, life has a funny way of making those things you say never to come back to you. I'll use myself as an example. My mom had all four girls, like all her children are girls, and we are four in number. And there used to be a time when one particular person was mocking her for that fact. Life had a funny way of making her go through the same thing. And honestly, I don't want to cause any troubles, but I'm just using that as an example to let you know that we need to be careful the things we say. We need to be careful the things we mock, because there are some situations in this life that are so dire, they are so delicate and sensitive that we should not actually find ourselves mocking anybody at all for any of those situations. An example is divorce, marital issues, issues with parents with special needs, mocking children, especially if they have disabilities, so many other situations. But I'm just saying for this ones, uh, it's just not something that we should mock. It's not. And even as reactors on YouTube, we should have a limit in which, or a limit to what we can say, or a limit to what we can do, especially on sensitive topics. I would go on to my next point, which is that people feed on negativity. The truth is that many times when you have topics that has to do with things that are positive, you never get to see any views. You never get to see anybody coming to, you don't get the views. Plain, simple. You are not known. Nothing comes or happens to you. But the moment you switch into that other arena, that negative side, that is when you get all the views. That is when you get the clout. That is when you get things happening, you get engagement, because it's all about negativity. And I'm not surprised that a lot of YouTubers prefer to go into the negative aspect of content creating, because this is what brings the views. I am very sure that this video that I am making will not get much views because, hey, it's not what people want to hear normally, so they would not, watch the video. If it's about, hey, you told me this, and this is gonna happen to you, how dare you do this, you're gonna see the views. The truth is that we all cannot all be negative. There are still gonna be some people who would rather choose the path of positivity or be in the middle. Someone like me, I'm in the middle. I don't do negative, and I don't completely do positive, because I know that life itself is all about the positive and negative things. And so we just have to find a balance in the middle. So, of course, Obodo Oyinbo's issue right now is a negative situation. Not negative completely, because hello, this is somebody's personal life. She has been dealing with it for so long, and she finally decided to opt out. and we are crying wolf. Why? Are you going to make a decision for an adult? Not even a 30-year-old, not a 20-year-old, not a teenager, a 50-something-year-old woman. You think she's going to sit and be listening to what you say all the time? No, she's going to live her life the way she wants to. All of these advices, at the end of the day, it's still going to be a decision to make whether to listen or not to listen, whether she wants to take the advice or not. Is a prerogative at the end of the day. So the truth is that the moment she came and she told us about it, I was actually thinking at first that it was going to be quiet. And I saw something like it being quiet. But I also think that she fed into the negativity because a lot of YouTubers were not actually carrying it because the negative side had not yet come out. But then the moment she started reacting negatively, they took it up, and of course it escalated from there. So that's one lesson, not to feed the negativity. As I speak to you, I'm also speaking to myself. So this this aspire to perspire is also for me too. Okay, indie YouTubers, is perfectionism the best way to go? Let's talk about life a little. Life is full of up and downs, but we tend to only show the ups and giving ourselves a delusion that we do not have the downs. Why? Life is full of ups and downs, but we would only show the ups and we only want to continue seeing the ups. For someone who comes on here and listens to the downs of other people, it's only expected that she would also feel the need to share her own downs. Because if she doesn't do that, then she's going to seem like an hypocrite, which is what she did. I don't fault her for that. It's just that a lot of people are not matured in the mind enough to be able to receive and process information. So many people will just listen and react. They don't process that information. And it's sad, but unfortunately, it is what it is. And you as a person cannot control what people do or how people would react to whatever you put out there. But I still have that question. Are we only going to be showing the good part of our lives? Are you saying that if I have an issue right now and I am so sad, I can't share? Why? So I'm only allowed to come here and show when I'm okay, when I have my makeup all perfectly done and I'm happy? Is that the only side of me that exists? I don't have problems? Possible now. We all have our issues, we all have our problems. At the end of the day, we come here presenting ourselves like we are better than others. At the back end, we are going through a lot. Indie YouTubers that only want to see perfection. How is that possible? Indie YouTubers that only show perfection. How is that possible? It's Delulu. Ultra extra Delulu. Because we all know a lot of people are going through a lot of things. A lot of people are going through a lot of things. Can you imagine a world where people can actually feel confident to come share their stories without being judged unnecessarily? Even if you're going to judge or criticize, you criticize constructively. You don't go on cursing the person. You don't go on saying all sorts of things to make the person even feel worse than they already feel. For her to have come out after a year, you should know that she had been thinking of, should I come out? Should I not come out? Should I come out? And then that spirit pushed her to come out. And of course, what she envisaged happened. I do not fault her, like I said, for coming out. I only fault the fact that she was reacting in the way she reacted. Because how many people is she going to fight? How many people will you fight? If you fight number 1, fight number 2, fight number 3, by the time you get to number 4, you're tired. And those people you fought, they would have escalated it to another level for you. First of all, it's best to sometimes just keep quiet. Second of all, um, people don't like the truth. People don't like the truth. So sometimes just keep quiet. So this is not for Aunty Bio. This is for every one of us listening to me. So if you made the mistake of coming to watch my video, please, this is a lesson for you and I. And I'm just going to move on to my next point. Who is to blame? Is it Aunty B or the YouTubers? I think I already addressed that already. No one is to blame. No one is to blame at all. I'm not blaming YouTubers. I'm not blaming Aunty B. Because action, reaction. That is life. Action, reaction. If there is no action, there's nothing to react to. And how you react, how people react is either going to be positive or negative. And it can be both, a combination of both. And before you give an action or do an action, you should be ready for the consequences of both. So no one is to be blamed. So if you felt the need to react like myself, you're not to be blamed. Information put out there is what people would react to. If it wasn't put out there, nobody would find the need to react. So everybody reacted one way or the other. Even the people in the comment section, you're reacting. If you're in my comment section, you're reacting. So you shouldn't blame anybody. But at the end of the day, even through our reactions, we should also be watchful of the things that we say. Especially if you don't have money to be sued. You cannot sue, and you don't have the money to sue, and you don't have money to answer to somebody suing. Jesus. You don't have the money to be a claimant, and you don't also have the money to be a defendant. Bro, just react with sense. Next point, let's be careful what we divulge. Because there are some information that the public actually don't need to know about you. There are some things that the public does not actually need to know about you. And so there's no need to divulge everything. And there's a way that time would have passed over some information that you don't necessarily have to tell us anymore. Seems like I'm repeating myself right now, so I'm going on to the next point. Obodo fam, where art thou? Obodo fam, where are you people? I was expecting, honestly, that I would see a lot of support for Aunty B through videos, because while negativity is brewing, if positivity also brews, it will give it a balance. So while people are hearing some bad things, if they're also hearing some good things, everything will come into perspective. And the innocent person that's hearing things for the first time will be able to, find a balance. But everybody kept quiet. Oh, are you people in a DM? If you are in a DM alone, maybe that's enough for you people. But to me, I don't think it's enough, because there are a lot of YouTubers that actually follow Aunty B. Outside of that, she created a whole community. Obodo fam. Obodo fam. I'm calling you people out. Where are you guys? Are you in the comment section defending Aunty B? Are you? Or are you there just, I'm not an Obodo fam or denying? Or are you also joining them to throw aspersions? I don't know. It just seems so quiet on that level. Aunty B, are they in your DMs? I'm just asking. Please answer in the comment section if you know. Just a question. I'm all innocent. I'm just asking an innocent question. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. It's hard. Honestly, it's hard to leave a relationship. It's hard to go through a certain phase of your life where you feel the need to leave something that you have been nursing, something that you have been putting in all your energy and your life to build, something that you have sacrificed so much for, it's hard. Auntie B, I see you. And if it's possible, I'll give you a virtual hug. I am not someone that is very social, and I don't have personal access to you. I think I've done my part in my own little way to give you the little support that I can give you. But all I can say is that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. At this point, that's basically what I came here to do. I just wanted to reflect on all that has happened in during the course of the week, and also to let you guys know what actually triggered my reaction to do that open letter that I did. So I was just on social media on my own. First of all, during the course of the week, I had already seen the video that Aunty B did as regards the separation, and I was like, wow, well, I had my reservations. I was like, wow. And to be said it's amicable, it was quiet, they don't have any issues, and I took it like that. Innocent me took it like that. And the next day, I just was, looking for just perusing through YouTube, and then I happened to listen to one woman talking about it. And I don't want to mention names so I don't get myself into trouble, because I'm not one for the saga. I just happened to jam one video that was talking so much about the situation, and the person mentioned that Auntie B had replied to her, and Auntie B was saying some sort of things that make me feel like, oh no. And then I moved on from that video and I jammed another video of one of the persons that I actually listened to on YouTube, especially when it comes to celebrity gist and all. The person's YouTube channel starts with a C. I guess you should be able to decode that. So I listened to her and she was complaining about the fact that she had gone through, she did something to the thumbnail that got Auntie B angry, and Auntie B used some certain words that she did not like, and it means that she is not healing. And it just pained me so much that I felt the need to come immediately to do that video. If you look through my videos, if you look through my channel, you will see that I've not been very consistent with videos. I'm not a cloud chaser like some people would say, or some people assumed in the comment section. But that's fine. If you think I'm a cloud chaser, you actually don't know me, so I don't really care about that. But then my purpose was not to chase clout. I was just pained and very passionate about the fact that Auntie B is involved in all these, and that's the reason why I came out. So I haven't said that. I'm just gonna read through some of the comments and have a little reaction to the comments of my previous video where I wrote an open letter to Auntie B. The first one here says, very well said. Her actions just show that one can take what they wish. She has 2 to 3 hours of live streams talking about other people. Now she will get a tip of the iceberg of what the people she talks about likely feel when she analyzes their lives. Well, let's be frank. She is a YouTuber. She reacts to videos. She reacts to celebrity gist and all sort of things. So she's literally doing a job when she analyzes all of those things. And people by themselves actually go tell her their stories. In fact, she even does more. She does more than a therapist when it comes to things like that. So basically, of course, she's gonna have many things to say, especially when she's asked for an opinion, or she creates a reaction channel. I don't think that she should be blamed for that. However, like I said, there's a way that you react to things that will be constructive. So maybe if she chooses to talk more constructively than less judgmentally. I don't think that she's very judgmental, but I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe that can help. And let's just take the lessons as YouTube reactors, not to be too judgmental. And Mirak 1985 says, people can leave a marriage for so many reasons. It's a choice. She's mature and well read. I've realized that when women cover up or pretend that all is well in a marriage to a seemingly quiet man, she will be misunderstood if she decides to leave. No one ever sees the pain she's been hiding. I will never judge who decides to leave because I am not in their shoes. One thing I know for sure is that it's not easy making that decision. Apparently, it's not easy making that decision. It's been 20 years of a life, my dear. And the fact that someone is quiet does not mean that they don't have bad characters. I'm not saying anything. I don't know her personal story. I don't know what happened between her and a partner, but it's not my place to judge because I don't have first-hand information. And when I don't have first-hand information, I don't have evidence of anything. Except she comes today and tells us the details of the situation. I can't really say much, okay? Next person says, I support speaking out as a marriage or relationship coach. Otherwise, hiding it and continuing as if a marriage is okay is nothing less than hypocrisy, which is the problem with some people on this YouTube. I said it. Personally, I will still be comfortable listening to her advice because she will be speaking from experience and sharing valuable lessons that will help those who are even struggling in their marriage. YouTube is not real life. You need to not be fake on here because eventually it will come out. Let her be. Just say. You said this. You did so well with your analysis. And that is Chidima Egbulefu. So sorry. I'm so sorry for murdering your name. But that was a good one. That was a good one. Honestly, if she had eaten it and it had come out later on, well, I think that it would not have been so much of an issue because if she doesn't come and affirm that that happened to her, it would have just ended up as a speculation. But at the end of the day, it's a choice to say or not to say. And she chose to say, which makes her a good person in my books because she could have eaten it, but she chose to talk. I did put in some responses to some of these comments, but I'm not gonna base this video on my responses. Next one is from Chioma. It says that how can divorce be amicable? So it is amicable because she left the man, but to the man it cannot be. That's a deep one. Well, it's very possible that divorce can be amicable. You guys don't know, but I am a lawyer and I used to practice in Niger before I came abroad. And I used to do a lot of family cases that has to do with divorces. So I know that when divorce is not contested, and if one particular person decides not to show up in court for the divorce proceedings, it can go as easy as it can be. Sometimes some people don't even feel the need to fight it. Sometimes a lot of things could have gone on that you're just tired and you people just want to co-parent if you have kids in peace. Sometimes the relationship would have gone to a stage where the partners or the two people in the relationship don't really care about themselves that much anymore and they don't feel the need to fight it. It all depends on the individuals, okay? So there are so many factors. There's no one way street to anything. Divorce can be messy and at the same time divorce can be amicable. Thank you, Chioma, for that. Let's move on. It says here, Aunty B, if you don't respect anyone on YouTube, respect this lady. She's very honest and she's with you. Take your flowers. I am subscribed to you now. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next. Oh, so all this that I've been reading has been quite positive, honestly, but there's been some negative comments also. I think they're at the bottom, so I'm just gonna go down to the bottom. But I'll read this one first. So it says here, love your reaction. Quite a sensitive response. Wish you the best in your new venture with reactions. Only recently started listening to some reaction from people. Oh my, it can be a cesspool. Oh, my dear sister. Because I know you're a woman. Josephine, I have seen things and I am even scared of what I'm doing, but I've got to do what I've got to do. I'm gonna stop this video for now. This one says, she allowed little success to get into her head. She wants to change cassava. No one is jealous of her. When you say cassava, cassava, really? And for this one, I'm gonna respond. And I said, I beg to differ, but it is well. And she said, she just they block people with sabi what up. Make them no cast her. She will either get married soon or them go run empty street. You think at the age of 52, a 52-year-old woman does not know what she's doing, yeah? Now you go tell her waiting she go do. I mean, now you go tell her how she go live her life. I beg. This person says, how many people are you going to fight when you are the one that put the story out there? It goes without saying. Oh, and this person says, don't say Lily is ranting. She was not rude to her in a video. She just heard her opinion. Why all the abusive words from someone of her age? She has been talking about people's marriages on this street. Years back, she dragged Summer in a marriage. Life is turn by turn. Life is turn by turn. I am not saying she should stay in a marriage if she's not happy, but attacking people when they talk about you brought about, but attacking people when they talk about you brought, when they talk about what you brought out there is what I don't understand. She should be ready because more people will still drag her. If you don't want people to talk about you, then don't bring out your issue. Very simple. I should say something. I'm also trying to avoid being dragged. So I'm just going to keep quiet. This person says, why are you advising her? She would live a fake life online and has planned this for years. You guys are just supporting rubbish. No, but you go tell me what I go do. You know what? There was one part of it that I saw that says, be careful who you choose as your mentor. You don't know me, so I'm just going to tell you this point blank. I am that one person who doesn't have a mentor. I listen to all sort of things. All sort of things. You can't even imagine the things that I listen to. And I am smart enough to be able to dissect and discern and choose what advice I take of social media, because I know social media is not a real place. Outside of that, even in real life, I do not have any mentor. I live my life the way I want to live it, which should be the way that everyone does. So whether spiritual mentor, physical mentor, developmental mentor, mentor anywhere is not my thing. When I see people, I see the good and I see the bad, and sometimes I pick out the good and I run away, because I know that we are all humans at the end of the day. We are prone to make mistakes and our lives cannot all be perfect. It's good advice, but it doesn't apply to me. Okay. At this point, I'm going to end this video by saying that sometimes it is not all our wins that we show on social media, because I also feel that that is one of the issues. I feel that Aunty B has a lot of haters. I feel that she has a lot of people who are jealous of her success. They can deny it all they want, but it's apparent to those who have eyes that sometimes when you show off and you feel the need to let people see your progress, people would say congratulations, right? They will say we are so happy for you, but deep down they're thinking, why is she the only one? Is she the only one on earth? Why is she doing things that I cannot do? Is she the only one who is able to do things? And they're just waiting for the day that you're going to mess up. And when you do, You will see the true nature of the people you're dealing with. So, if you want to share your wins, be careful of the things that you share. And that's one of the lessons. The old saga has shown me and taught me to be careful the things I divulge. And honestly, there was a time that I was so vulnerable that I actually wanted to divulge some information, just to seek solace on social media. And something just told me to hide what I was just about to post, and I put it on private. Maybe one day I'll be comfortable enough to share, but I know that for now it's not really a safe place on YouTube, honestly. It's not. We want to assume that it is, or we want to give the delusion that it is, but it's just not a safe place. So if you're going to share something, know what you're sharing. And when you share, expect good and expect bad. I'm so sorry, but my daughter is right here in the room with me, so you're going to hear in the background. Thank you for joining my channel today. My name is Adedayo. This is Impressions Media, and I'll see you in the next one.